Episode 2 of Euphoria Season 3 starts with a look at Maddy. She arrived in a city with a big dream but little to her name. Having done her research, Maddy approached Mrs. Pensler, a high-flying executive, and talks her way into an assistant job. Fast forward to the pandemic, and with Maddy's company paying her to stay home, Maddy skirts the COVID rules by taking photos of a woman on the beach called Caitlin. Maddy winds up managing Caitlin, convincing her to be more provocative over time and selling herself for hungry fans. Maddy's boss is not happy when she finds out, especially when Caitlin winds up schmoozing with the hotshot star Dylan Reed. Maddy's got no choice but to let Caitlin go, save for losing her job. A year later, Caitlin winds up striking rich on OnlyFans and convinces others to follow her. This certainly eats at Maddy, who realises had she taken a gamble and ditched her assistant job, she could have made a tidy commission. She does receive a message from Cassie not long after though, asking if they can meet for lunch. Maddy smirks, her intentions at this point certainly unclear. Back in the present, Alamo is still wary over Rue, but for the time being she's allowed to prove her worth. She's forced to muck out the pigsties and covers up Tish's death too, burning the evidence. Alamo rings Laurie and confronts her about the tainted drugs, but she plays dumb, pretending that she's innocent. In reality, Wayne had forgotten to tell Faye to clean the scale, and unfortunately that residue had mixed with the ecstasy, hence the taint. With one of his girls gone, Alamo announces that he's taking Rue, and Laurie is pissed. Rue though convinces herself that she's made a deal with the devil, but seemingly free for the time being. With $300 to her name, Rue is driven out to one of the strip clubs called the Silver Slipper, and things are certainly looking up. The club she's taken out to is the same one Tish used to work at, and there are pictures of the girl up in the dressing room. As we later find out, Tish's best friend is one of the top girls here called Angel. After work, Angel and Rue hook up, but Rue still misses her muse, Jules. You see, a few years ago, Rue actually visited Jules in the city. She was in art school and Rue didn't have too much going on. It never quite felt like how it used to in high school, and Rue relapsed bad. Cut off from her family and forbidden from seeing Gia, Rue hasn't been sober since then. Alamo's pissed that Angel is standing up to him, while Rue winds up spotting a hidden safe in the back room. This is where all the money is stashed, and it'll be interesting to see if Rue is tempted to steal it. Back to Maddy for now. After the DM from Cassie, she knows that she's the sort of girl she can work with. Of course, there's still bad blood between them, and Cass being with Nate is a serious sticking point too. Maddy agrees to meet her, and does so by putting on a big show. She waits for Cassie, then makes a grand entrance, turning heads and pretending to be on a big important call. After a few drinks and skirting around the real reason for this meeting, Cassie and Maddy get down to brass tacks. The latter sees Cassie's social media as a bit try-hard, especially the dog act. Maddy thinks she should be herself and lean into her personality instead. Back home, things are about to get a little wild. The last time we saw Cal, Nate called the cops on him and he was taken away in handcuffs. As we soon see, he actually narrowly avoided prison. However, his reputation is in tatters. Cal has gone from the town's top real estate developer to a sexual deviant, marked with a scarlet letter for the rest of its life. The business is not doing too hot either, and Nate owes a lot of money to various partners and investors. One guy in particular is not messing around and tells Nate he owes $600k by the end of the month. This Cassie situation is not helping matters either, and Cal is shocked to learn Nate is about to open up another round of talks with investors. Unfortunately, the party that night does not go to plan. Talk of Cassie's OnlyFans spreads, and it spills over into a rather awkward encounter, where Cass makes it clear that Nate's got money issues in front of others, despite his smooth talking. With the party a bust, Nate is concerned to learn Cassie and Maddy are getting closer. He thinks this is revenge on Maddy's part, but Cass is quick to point out that Maddy is a social media expert and simply helping her brand. But does Maddy have an ulterior motive here, I wonder? Back at the Silver Slipper, Rue speaks to Angel and reveals that Tish has died of an overdose. Hearing this, Angel begins to spiral, and the club's top stripper eventually needs rehab. Alamo promises there's another promotion in store for Rue if she follows through with this, so Rue drives Angel up to rehab that night. The place is shady to say the least, and she's definitely concerned, especially when there's no paperwork to fill out. In fact, between the receptionist, sporting dirty fingernails, and the dark ominous hallways, the implication is that this is a front for trafficking. That's only exacerbated further when an ambulance rocks up outside just as Rue leaves. As the camera pans across the street, we see somebody is sitting in their car watching. In the middle of all this craziness, Rue winds up meeting Jules in a city and explains she's off the hard stuff. She drinks and smokes a bit of weed, sure, but she's avoiding anything that would destroy her life. Jules admits she does have a boyfriend, but he's currently at home with his family. Eventually, Jules heads off to take a bath and invites Rue along too, despite knowing this isn't going to be good for either of them. At that night, Alamo sends a message to Laurie. He drops off a massive pig in Laurie's house with a message simply reading, "Remember, the Alamo." So we finally see Rue and Jules together, and of course nothing good is going to come of these two hooking up again. Their relationship in school was largely complicated by the addition of Elliot, especially in season 2, and given the initial rumours that he was going to be a big part of season 3, it'll be interesting to see if that holds any weight. This chapter largely switches the attention across to Maddy and Cassie though, as we see the pair continue their ambitions to be a success. The pipe dream of OnlyFans, making everyone tons of money, is something that's been peddled across society lately, but when you actually look at the stats, very few people make that much. And in the end, is sex worth really worth it? Finding out Rue still smokes weed is a bit disappointing, but she's at least off the hard stuff, so I guess there is that. Seeing her take Angel to rehab definitely plays a role reversal for her, as she's been taken so often by her mum. Unfortunately, Rue may actually be correct in that she's made a deal with the devil. That shady rehab centre definitely looks like a front for something more nefarious. When Alamo said he's in the business of girls, he's definitely not lying. I wouldn't be surprised if this is where girls are trafficked off to. We've seen that the Silver Slipper operates with drugs, and these girls are largely not sober. It doesn't take much to get addicted to some of these substances, and it would be very easy for the girls to become addicts and slip out of anybody's notice. However, the show looks like it's gearing up for a drug war, and I wouldn't be surprised if we found out that pig actually ate Tish. There's a lot of chatter this episode about how pigs eat anything, and that would lean nicely into it. The one element of the show that's lacking a bit is the musical score. The iconic tracks from Labyrinth over the years have been one of the highlights of the show, coupled with the creative camera work, and both are sorely lacking in this third season. The other issue stems from Cassie. Her character has been completely assassinated this season. She was always a bit annoying and naive, sure, but she was never outright dumb. The way she's acting in this season, showing off her OnlyFans to potential investors and arguing with Nate in front of everyone, feels completely out of character. The only explanation I can think of is that Cassie is psychologically damaged from Lexi's play, but in reality, it seems like she may have taken on some of Kat's plotline here. Remember, Kat was the one in season 2 who had the big adult work drive. That was never Cassie. So while the second episode is better than the premiere, this is still a bit of a mixed bag overall. Seeing more of the other characters helps to round the hour out, of course, but the verdict is still out over where this one goes from here. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.